What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Look at the Tape. I'm your host, Jordan, and this is the show where I talk about movies old and new. Even though I haven't done an old one yet, but it's coming. It's coming, it's coming. Just hold on. It's coming. Old, new, and I'll talk about what I like, what I don't like, yays, the nays, and all that good stuff. And today, we're talking about the brand new, the amazing blockbuster, the successful, overly successful, the hyped. Y'all saw the title. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I did an episode for the Odyssey a couple weeks ago, and I said that this episode for Spider-Man, which came out the following week, when I had seen it, the Odyssey, I said I'd be doing the Spider-Man episode for next week, and it didn't come out because... Now, what I said is I'm going to go see it the following week. And I did. But I didn't record an episode. Because I went back and I watched it again today. So on second viewing, I'm giving you my review, my rant, everything that I have to talk about for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Today, 2 weeks after its original release, because I just needed another hit of that. I just needed another hit. I just need another hit of that MCU chronic. Okay, that's what we're gonna call it. That MCU chronic. Matter of fact, we're not even gonna call it just that Sony Spider-Man chronic, because we got to see what the MCU was doing still. I'm hyped. I'm not. I won't say I'm hyped. I'm interested. I'm still very interested. I still want to go see Doomsday. And I definitely will be going to see the re-release of Endgame, because they are, let's talk about this real quick. They are, what's the word? Not reprising, but they're going to put a little extra something in there at the end. From what I'm hearing, they're going to do a little, a little something at the end of Endgame for, to bring us into Doomsday. And I'm like, ooh, what are they gonna do? What scene are they gonna add? Or clip or whatever. What even if it's a little minute thing, minute thing, what's it gonna be that's gonna impact, the ending of that film to bring us into Doomsday? I'm just interested. So I will be going back to see Endgame when it releases, on re-release. And, there's that. Yes. But, today, we are talking about our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And my goodness, he is truly our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in Brand New Day. And it's what we've all been waiting for. It's what we've all been asking for. We know that the previous trilogy, he's been, Tony Stark Jr., Iron Man Jr., that people want to call him. I never called him that. I was just following the journey, but I understand why people said that. He's always had to rely on somebody, specifically Tony's tech. And in this one, well, I'm sure we've all seen Endgame. We won't talk about it too much, but I'm sure by now we should have all seen Endgame. So, But in this one, and hopefully you've seen No Way Home. Hopefully you've seen all Tom Holland's trilogy. Seen all the previous 3 movies. So know what's going on. But, this this show is broken up into 2 halves. So, let's finish the intro out first, okay? Without further ado, let's look at the tape. All right, now, if you're new to the show, the way I do it is in the beginning, we go no spoilers, and I call that plain cracker review. It's just going to be a plain review of this movie, plain cracker review. And then afterwards, my spoiler fam, I will let you know when we are about to get into spoilers, so the spoiler fam can sit down at the table and we can dine on these fine spoilers. All right, I'm gonna let you know. But so yeah, hopefully, you know, probably, and you should have seen all of Tom's movies by now. If you haven't, I don't know where you've been. If you haven't seen Endgame, I don't know where you've been. Don't know what rock you're living under, but you know, I think you should trade that up for this movie. Anyway, where to begin in the Plane Cracker review? You know what I really want to do before we go into IMDb. No, let's just do it. Let's just do it right. IMDb first. All right. So our synopsis: a forgotten Peter Parker lives alone as a full-time Spider-Man until there we go. Until mounting pressure triggers a dangerous change and a powerful new enemy emerges. Now, don't ask me what that was. We fixed it. Anyway, that is IMDb synopsis. Real short, real sweet, right to the point. Okay? They don't give too much on there, and that's appreciated for the Plane Cracker. Now, let's start here. Let's start with Spider-Man himself. No, not Peter. Let's start with Spider-Man. My goodness. They've given us a perfect suit. I mean, a perfect suit. Tom, whoever else was in charge of the design of this suit, the idea of it to merge, Toby and Andrew's suits together and produce this masterpiece of a Spider-Man suit. This thing is perfect. Perfect. And you look at it, it just screams Spider-Man. Now look, let's go through the suits really quick, and I mean really quick, because Tom Holland has had a lot of them throughout the years. So let's start with, Civil War Homecoming suit. I liked that suit. That's a 50-50 suit. It's either people love that suit or they really don't like that suit because of all the line work that's on there, all the extra lines that are not the webs. You know what I mean? You've seen the suit. Some people don't like that. I understand. I liked it. At the heart of it, aside from the lines, it was still very, Spider-Man classic. It still looked like stripped from the comics Spider-Man. Except for the lines. That's what they added. For, reasons, because they just add a whole bunch of lines and different texture works on superhero suits nowadays. And that's just what they do. But I like that suit because it still screams Spider-Man. Then we go to Far From Home, and the main suit that comes from that movie is the red and black suit. Now, I remember when that trailer came out for that movie, I was in class at the time, and I remember this. I think we weren't waiting for the bell. We were waiting for the teacher. I don't know where that teacher was, but we were waiting for class to start. So, I put an earbud in, and I was like, gonna watch this trailer. And then I saw it, it's black and red, and I was like, why is it black and red? And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't know how I feel about this Spider-Man is red and blue. And now I can hear you guys out there. Well, technically, superheroes, that was supposed to be black, and the blue was supposed to, bring out, the different shading and the lighting and everything. Yes, I'm aware of that. But iconically, Spider-Man went down as red and blue, not red and black. Okay, so I didn't know how to feel about it. Then once I saw it, like, in action in the movie, I was like, all right, this is a clean suit. It's clean. The spider on the back was white. I was like, okay, they're trying something different. It looks cool. It grew on me a whole lot. By the time its theatrical release was over, I was a fan of that suit. I was like, this is a cool suit. I like this. And then now, we also have to go back. We gotta go back. We can't just talk about Tom Solo movies because he got another suit in what suit was that? Movie was that? Infinity War. And he gets the Iron Spider suit. Now, this is another, I think, 50-50. I'm sorry if you could hear my cat playing in the background, but she's just having a good time. Oh, both my cats are here. So it's actually, the little one is playing with the cord on my headphones, and the big one, he's playing on a bag. So both my cats are here having a good time while I record this, so you can enjoy them in the background as well. I believe one of them was in last week's episode, so there you go. Anyway, there's Infinity War. Iron Spider was another 50-50 suit for people. Like, they either liked it or they didn't, because it wasn't the classic red and gold suit from the comics. And that's, I was expecting that suit when I heard that we were getting Iron Spider for that movie. I can't wait to see how they are gonna put that on the big screen. And they didn't do the comic. Mind you, I said the cats are here. Y'all heard that? Cat stuff. And then they want to look like, oh, what happened? You happened. Yeah, they didn't do the red and gold. Instead, what they did was they did like a play on the colors that he already has, the red and the blue, and they put some gold in there. And I was like, okay, it's pretty much oriented the same way color-wise. So, I mean, it's just the Spider-Man suit. And I was like, for me, I like it. I was like, okay, it's just Spider-Man suit, but Iron Spider. All right, fine. I can work with that. And then when the legs came out from the back, I was like, yeah, that's Iron Spider. So, I was the half of the 50 that liked it. Now, let's go to No Way Home. Because he has the red and black suit in that movie. And then that gets paint on it. And what is he doing? He's using that. He's also using the Iron Spider because he gets paint on the red and black suit. The upgraded suit, if you will. The Iron Spider suit gets damaged. Not even just damaged, it gets hijacked by a certain villain. If you haven't seen that movie, you should have, but if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But that suit gets hijacked, so he has to take the upgraded suit and turn that inside out. And a lot of people didn't like that, I think, but some people, all of Tom Holland's suits, I think, are a 50-50 with people, except for the Brand New Day suit. But hold on, let's keep going. He turned it inside out, and you see all the, technology that's, really, the suit works, that makes the suit work on the inside. And it's kind of cool, kind of. 50-50, I'm like, I don't know where I sit with that. It's like, whatever. It's not in the movie for long. Honestly, I think it's a throwaway suit, really. That's a throwaway. But it's whatever. Let's not forget Night Monkey's suit, which is the stealth suit, but another 50-50. People are like, oh, the stealth suit, but that's also kind of a throwaway suit in the Far From Home movie. So let's throw that in there as well. I didn't care about that suit at all. On the 50-50, I'm on the whatever. No. I don't need the stealth suit. Give me Spider-Man. That's what I wanted. So on the 50-50, I'm on the no for that one. Stealth suit, Spider Monkey, no. Okay, so the inside out. Then he cleans it, right? He cleans that suit. So he gets the paint out, turns it red and black again, turns it back in, outside in again. No, inside out. So now the outside put back in. Yeah, he turns it back around. And after that, he helps the same certain villain who we mentioned, and he gives him the nanotech back, which further upgrades the upgraded suit. So now there's more gold and, nanotech incorporated in that suit. And I think it's cool. Again, I'm just now realizing all these suits are 50-50, and we haven't even started talking about the movie yet, but we got to talk about this suit. But we got to run down these suits. That's just what I do on this show. But that suit, No Way Home suit, whatever you want to call that final suit in that movie, there were so many suits in this movie, in that one movie. It's a 50-50 shot, but I liked it. During watching it, I was like, this looks cool. It didn't pass my mind, but I would not have wanted them to keep that, because there's still a yearning for Spider-Man is red and blue. But then at the end of that movie, the very end, he has to give up all these other suits. Well, all the other suits. Well, no, he has to give up all the other suits, because technically he still would have had the Homecoming suit. It's just that he had to make the upgrade suit because he was in Europe, so he was just wearing that. Now this Iron Spider suit got damaged and then incorporated into the upgrade suit, but he has to give all that up because of the events of No Way Home. Now I'm being very generous because I'm not doing a review for No Way Home, so I could just talk, and you should have seen it already. But I'm gonna be nice and not, in case you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna spoil it. Can't talk right now, gosh. But you should have seen that movie, because we're here talking about Brand New Day. So, yeah, that's on you. Anyway, but he has to give up all those other suits, and he starts making his own suit. And finally, we are back with the red and blue. Now, at the end of that movie, that blue was shiny. That was some shiny blue. I was like, "Ooh, look at, he's shining and glistening, swinging through the city in the snow. Like, look at this dude on the building tiles. He just going. Look at our boy. That blue was so shiny. I was like, I like this. I like this. I have a Funko Pop of that suit from that movie. I like that suit. I like the shine. I like the glisten. I thought they were going to keep it for this movie, and I was hearing that they were going to show that suit in this movie, and that possibly it'll just get damaged and he has to make the suit that's throughout the movie, but that's not the case. They don't use that same suit from the very end of No Way Home. They kind of just used that to say he's got a red and blue suit now, and that he's makes his own suit. Or who knows? Maybe there's just what will we call it? It's just a, for our own knowledge, to just think that, okay, he had that suit, it got damaged, he redesigned it a little bit, and now it looks the way that it looks in Brand New Day. There could also be that. But either way, here we are with Brand New Day, and he has the same suit throughout the entire movie, and it is strictly Spider-Man red and blue. And when I tell you, it is the most perfect Spider-Man suit we have to date. It's beautiful. This suit and Andrew Garfield's suit in TASM 2, chef's kiss. The only thing I don't like about Andrew's suit in TASM 2, and I mean literally the only thing that I don't like about it, is that the spider emblem is too low for me on the suit. I think it should have been, risen higher up on the chest. It's too low for me. Oh my gosh, these cats are gonna wear me out. It's too low for me personally, visually, design wise. Yeah, please go upstairs, y'all. But that's literally the only thing. But this suit that Tom got in Brand New Day, this the one. This the one. This the one. It is, like I said before, and like Tom has said in interviews, it is a combination of Andrew and Toby's suits because, hey, quick spoiler shot for No Way Home, since I gotta say that. They were both in the movie as Spider-Man, so he met his Spider brothers from the other Sony Spider-Man movies, which was awesome. Side note, I knew they were gonna. Don't be like, oh yeah, you just saying he knew. No. I was looking at my insider's report. I was listening to my trusted sources. I knew that Andrew and Toby were gonna be in No Way Home before the movie came out. I did, and I had, excuse me, I had evidence. I had the evidence. I'd heard the evidence. I'd seen the evidence. I knew they were going to be in there. And then I'm watching the movie, right? And then it gets to that point. There was so much going on in that movie that I was just so into. I forgot that they were supposed to be in the movie. And then when Andrew came through, I said, oh, the hell. And it was Andrew first. The fact it was Andrew first, I was like, oh, because Andrew got a bad rap, but that's my boy. Andrew's my boy. That's, yo, woo. When he came through that portal, before that, when I saw them big eyes, when I saw them big goggles on the suit, when they called him through the portal, they say, Peter, and he turned around, and I saw them, the TASM 2 big goggle eyes on the Spider-Man suit. The big expressive eyes. I said, that's the boy right there. Look at him. Look at him go. And then he jumped through the portal and took the mask off, and I was like, whoa. my theater gave a resounding applause for him. And then Toby came through. Another applause, but it was not as strong as the one Andrew got. I mean, that's the boy. I love Toby too. I do. Those are the ones we had first. Okay. So that suit is iconic for the fans. But accuracy wise, we've just gotten better. TASM 2 and now Brand New Day. They're just, to me, I know I'm going to get some hate on this, but Toby's suit, we have not started talking about this movie yet. How long have we been going on the suit? I don't care. We gonna talk about this. Toby's suit, for the time when he was all we had but when he was our only Spider-Man, okay, yeah, the suit was great. And the suit still is great. But now that we have other Spider-Men to put that up against, I don't favor the suit that much. But it just goes down as iconic. Yes, it does. But I don't favor the Toby suit that much. And this is no shot at Toby at all, because Toby, you are still our spectacular Spider-Man. If you had to put, a Spider-Man title up against, and what are y'all doing? Up with all of our Spider-Men that we have, Toby is our spectacular Spider-Man. Andrew, of course, obviously is our amazing Spider-Man. And Tom is our ultimate Spider-Man, okay? Hands down, you can't argue with me on that. That's just how it is. So, Yes, there are so many similarities to Toby's and Andrew's suit for Brand New Day's suit, and it is just a chef's kiss. I love this suit. I'm a happy fan. It looks and it's practical. It's mostly practical. Mostly practical. I was watching it today again, like I said, and there's just a scene where I was like, is this part CGI? Possibly. It could be. Maybe. But for sure, most of this movie is Tom Holland in the suit. And let's start getting into the movie now. He's in the suit so much in this movie. He's actually in the, like I said, it's practical. He'll just be walking around in the suit. He's there's no mocap suit, like no, how they did for the Iron Spider, no gray onesie mocap suit, and then we'll put the Iron Spider in post. No. There's no test suit like for Civil War, but in the end we'll just put him in the mocap suit. No. There's a physical suit that he is in for a majority of this movie, that he is actually shot the film in the suit. We all saw those pictures when they were filming in the streets, and he was wearing the suit, swinging on the wire. Yeah, practical suit, and you can see it. You get the wrinkles when he's moving around. Now, when he's swinging around, some of the swinging moments, because you can't do everything that Spider-Man does practical swinging, but some of the swinging moments, you can see the suit, the wrinkles, the air flowing past the suit and making it wave, all of that. It's real. This is a real thing. No more CGI suit. We got a real Spider-Man suit now. He's got a real Spider-Man suit. Yes, he's got a real Spider-Man suit. It's practical. And he's in it so much in this movie. This movie is, and I'm not saying this from my own thoughts, but I am concurring that this movie, like how Tobey's Spider-Man 2 was Spider-Man No More, this movie is Peter Parker No More. Because of the events of No Way Home, like the synopsis from IMDb told us, forgotten Peter Parker lives alone as a full-time Spider-Man. Now, because he is living as a full-time Spider-Man, not making any time for Peter Parker, because Peter Parker really doesn't have a life anymore because nobody knows who he is. So he can fully throw himself into his job as Spider-Man, pretty much. And just to watch the way that our boy has grown up. He's really grown up. He doesn't feel like the little kid anymore who's trying to, just fit into the Avengers. As far as him being a superhero, he has come of age. This is the Spider-Man that we wanted, that we've been wanting. He's in the rundown apartment with his own tech, his own gadgets that he made, and he's using them beautiful. The way he flows as Spider-Man, just the way he moves through the city, it's like he just knows his city. Like this is his jungle. The concrete jungle is his, and he knows it. He is the predator. He is the apex predator of New York. He just knows how to get down in New York. Like he's got this now. He's got it. He's got it. He's got the what's it on the phone, so the radio, so he can see what's going on, the crime throughout New York City. He's got all of that, like how Toby had. He had the radio. Well, in this one, technology is more advanced now because those movies were the early 2000s, but he's got it on his phone. So anytime something happens, oh, you getting this? You seeing this? And he's talking to I think she's a detective? I remember her name. I know she's a character in the comics, and I just found out about this, but you know who I'm talking about. He's talking to the cop all the time. They're talking about this happened in Scorpion. We gotta go find him. Oh, are you getting this? There's a robbery happening down on this street. Yeah. I'll meet you down there. I'll be there. Swing down there. He gets the job done. All the police got to do is clean up. Pretty much. He's working the city as Spider-Man, like fully. What's the word? I'm so hyped right now. Fully realized Spider-Man. Finally, a fully realized Spider-Man. He's here. But because of this, he's missing his friends. He's missing MJ. He's missing Ned. Definitely misses Aunt May. But all of that is over. And the only way that he can, keep up with their lives is through a convenient vlog from Ned. For the past 4 years, Ned has done a vlog of what's going on in their lives and on social media, and Peter, just tunes into that. And that's the only kind of interaction that he really can have with them is through watching these videos. He's probably not leaving any comments or anything. He might not even be leaving likes. He's just watching from the sidelines. That's all he can do. It sucks that our boy has to be this sad. But it's Spider-Man. This also makes me think, you think about any superhero, their actual lives really suck. Like you think you want superpowers until you think about what the superhero's social life is really like. Their lives suck. Yeah, sure, they'll get a lot of applause for being a hero. But if you got a secret identity, but either way, no, your social life is gonna suck. Your personal life is gonna suck being a superhero. It just is. There's no way around that, I don't think. But yeah, that's where Peter Parker is. And my goodness, it's amazing. We just went on the I said that suit thing was gonna be quick. My bad. It wasn't. But that did bring us into the movie. Plane Cracker. We're still on Plane Cracker. Hi. Hey. Are you done tearing up the house? Where'd your brother go? Okay, my cat's here. So, what else can we talk about here? We got the no, get down. We're gonna save that for the spoiler fan, but we got the secret character in this movie, and I just want to point this out too. Oh, there he is. I knew who it was. I got it. Most of us probably knew who it was, to be honest, but I don't personally know all of you. So for me, and for my own excitement, building up to the release of this movie, I had my guess. And I was right. Like, many of you probably were right. Okay? I'm just saying that. So, if you were also thinking what I was thinking, the secret mystery character of Sadie Sink, yeah, we were right, y'all. We were right. I just want to say that, okay? Spoiler fam, we'll talk about it. Plane Cracker review. But we were right. Blah, 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 blah. Who we talk about? Who else do we talk about? Oh, let's talk about Punisher and Spider-Man's chemistry in this movie is beautiful. It's hilarious. I haven't seen the Punisher series, but I did see the short film on Disney Plus. So I can't sit here and be like, yeah, that was a perfect representation of the Punisher. I don't know that. But I do know that their chemistry on screen was goated. Whenever they're together, you're gonna laugh. And it's not gonna be a corny little joke let. No. It's not Marvel humor. It's older brother, big brother bickering humor. Like there's a friendship there, but they can't stand each other. Like it's perfect. Like, who wrote this? Give them a raise. Punisher's great in this movie. They have they don't show how they meet, but they do have something like what's her name? Hawkeye and Black Widow had in the first Avengers when they keep talking about Budapest. Like, yeah, this happened in Budapest. Remember what happened in Budapest? But they never tell us what happened in Budapest. They have something like that in this movie. So they don't tell us or show us how they met, but something happened somewhere that keeps getting mentioned in this movie. And that's how they know each other. And I loved that. I just loved that. It's hilarious. It's great. It's cinema. So, The Punisher, Spider-Man is great. We also get our Hulk. Our Hulk back. Finally. I'm not spoiling anything because this is in the trailers. Okay? We get Rage Hulk back in this movie. I won't say how, but we get him back. Finally. After how many years has it been? Too long? I'm gonna say something. Now, I don't know if it's because it's been so long since we've seen Rage Hulk, but the first time I saw this movie, when he turned into the Incredible Hulk, there's a not quick shot, but there's a brief moment of the transformation when it's complete. When the transformation is complete, I looked at Hulk and I was like, why does this look off to me? Like, it was CGI. And clearly it is CGI, but you know what I mean? Like, they've done the Hulk before and it looks great. So I'm like, they know how Bruce Banner looks as the Hulk. They know this. Has it been that long since they've done it that something just looked off in the CGI to me? Now, when he was, moving and Hulk smash and all of that, it was fine. It was literally just that one quick moment, like literally a blinking moment, where I looked at him and I was like, it looks CGI to me. It looks too CGI to me. Even though I know it's CGI, but it's like, you know what I'm talking about? It looks fake. The other ones make him look like, he really turned into a giant green monster. But at that moment, I was like, this looks like the CGI that they've been doing for the past couple years, and that's not good. For a quick little moment, but that's just me. That's how I felt. Now, the scene with Hulk itself, he looked fine. He looked perfect. And then the rest of the close-up shots for Hulk, he looked fine. He looked perfect. It was literally just that one part, and I was like, okay, but I don't know. Maybe maybe it was the lighting. I can't tell you. If you thought the same thing, or if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Leave a comment. I want to know. But either way, Rage Hulk, we got him back, and it was great. What else can I talk about in this movie? What else do I want to talk about in this movie? Let's talk about the powers. Oh, can I say something else about the suit before we talk about the powers? The web shooters. When I first saw the web shooters before this movie came out, when I saw, the pictures of the suit and with the web shooters on it, I didn't like the web shooters. I did not like the web shooters. They didn't look right to me. They looked too. I don't know. I looked at them and I was like, is it because they're too big? I think they're too big for this suit. To me, they look too big. Like, they go down the arm, and then where they're placed on the arm, so they're not placed very high up on the wrist. They're placed a little lower on the wrist. And then for the length of them, I'm like, I don't know. And if you look at it, it looks like it's split into two segments anyway. So I'm like, if they took the bottom off, if they just shaved off half of the size, I think it would look better to me. I was not a fan of the web shooters at the time. Now, information about his powers. We know that he gets organic webbing in this movie. Now, because I didn't like the web shooter design for this suit, I was happy that he was getting organic webbing. And I say that to say, because I like Spider-Man having web shooters, mechanical, electric web shooters. I like that. I prefer that than organic webbing. Honestly, I do. Because it just shows how smart Peter is. He made that. No one else except Tony Stark, but no, he did that first. That wasn't on Tony's radar to make a web shooter until he found Peter, right? Peter already had web shooters. They weren't as advanced at the time, but he still made his own web shooters and they worked. So it just shows how smart Peter is. So I'm not saying it's a cop out to give him organic webs, because that's something that a spider can do, but I just like web shooters. I like the web shooters. And then the way Stan Lee wrote it, he runs out of webs in the web shooters, and now he's in a whole different predicament. Now, what is he gonna do? He's got to figure this out now without one of his most versatile, pieces of equipment. Versatile? Well, yeah, he uses them for different things, especially in this movie. They're a little versatile in this movie, the web shooters. Oh, yeah, hold on. But we'll stay here because I just thought about something. But, yeah. So when I heard that he's getting organic webbings in this movie, I was like, I'm not mad at that at all, because I already don't like these web shooters. Now, the first time I saw it, the movie, and I'm looking at the web shooters, my very first thought when I saw them was, I don't like those web shooters. But then as I continued to watch the full movie, it was the same thing how I told you I felt about the red and black suit. How I didn't like it at first, but then it grew on me after I saw it in full, action. The same thing happened for these web shooters. Now, I just didn't give, and this goes for the black and red suit and for the web shooters. I didn't just look at it one time and then hated on it like, ugh. No. I looked at it, I examined, I tried to, I made sense of it in my mind. But for me, I just didn't like it. At first, I wasn't trying to hate on it. It's Spider-Man. This is my favorite superhero. I don't want to hate nothing about it. I just wasn't a fan. But the black and red suit grew on me in full action. That's just how it happened. It's not my favorite suit. This suit is my favorite suit. But now I can say I do like the red and black suit. For the web shooters, same thing. When I first saw them in, promotional pictures, I did not like them. And on first viewing, of this movie, I said, I still don't like them. I don't like those web shooters. But as the movie progressed and I saw the web shooters in action and what they could do, and I'm not saying that because, oh, now that I see why they look the way that they do, that now changes my stance on them. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying when I did see their full capability and them on the suit in motion, I started to change. You know, not my mind, but just how I was feeling about them did change. Now, watching them in the second viewing, I had no thought of, oh, I don't like those web shooters. Not because I know he's going to get rid of them now, but because I think they've grown on me. And it just took that time. So now, do I think they still could have been a little shorter? Yes. I still think they could have been half the size. And don't say, oh, well, he's making this technology on his own now, so, he's got to fit as much web into, the web shooter as he can, so they need to be longer. No, it's still a fictional comic book movie. He's still, a genius. It's a fictional comic book movie. He can make them half the size of what they are, and then he's just smart enough to know how to, fit a lot. Because the web's, the cartridge of the web is still not big. Like to have that much web coming out of something the size of your wrist anyway, yeah, it's fiction, dog. You can make it whatever you want. Whatever you write it to be, that's what it's gonna be. So don't go ahead with that, oh, it needs to be longer to fit, more web. No, stop. Go ahead. But though I think they could be half the size still, yes. But am I okay with the way that they are? Yes, I am now. They've grown on me now. I can honestly say. Are they my favorite web shooter design? Still no. Still no. What would I say is? I do really like the Civil War No Way Home design. I do like that. I'm trying to think of the other ones that he's had. Yeah. Yeah, that would be, even with Andrew's suit and his web shooters, the Civil War Homecoming web shooters are my favorite design web shooters. Yeah. But these are good to me now. These are cool. Now, let's talk about this. We know we've got certain shots from iconic, comic book covers and everything in this movie. We definitely do. And that's great. But we also get, some inspiration from the video games. And that was really cool. The very beginning of this movie, you can see where they pulled some stuff from the video games. I'm talking about the Insomniac Spider-Man video games. I was a fan of that. I liked that. That was cool to see. First time I saw the movie, I was like, they got that from the game. That's what I wanted to say before when I was like, oh, but I held that in. I held that part in. I liked that. Let's see what else. I don't think anything. A lot of this was talking about the suit. It probably was. A lot of the Plain Crack review was talking about the suit. But now I feel like I have to go into, the dining area for the spoiler fam. I do. No, I have a few more things to say, little things. New York feels like a character in this movie again. It just feels so much more alive. It again, it feels like friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and he is. He doesn't just have to be, rolling with the Avengers, going to space, and doing all these big potato things. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know what that means. But he doesn't have to do all the big potato things all of the time. He can, be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, like he told Tony that he would be in the end of Homecoming. And as far as another thing about New York, or I should say being a New Yorker, the way Tom plays Spider-Man and Peter in this, if you listen to him talk, he sounds like, he's from New York in this movie. Not saying Tom sounds like he's from New York. No, I'm saying he's playing Peter in a way that we really haven't heard him before. Like, he sounds like a New Yorker in this movie. In the suit, like, he's interacting with people, and he'll say stuff, and it's like, he's got a New York vibe coming from this. So this is the first time I really felt like Spider-Man was from New York. Even though we know Spider-Man is in New York, he played him like, yeah, Spider-Man is a New Yorker. That's the feel of just the way he was talking in this movie, saying certain things. I was like, he sounds like a New Yorker. I like that because he's supposed to be a New Yorker. There was so much poured into this movie that it can just be so appreciated. And I do, as a Spider-Man fan. Definitely after seeing this for the second time. I said it after the first viewing, but now after seeing a second time, and it's not just all about the hype, now that I've got, the second view of it, I can honestly say, which I did say when I saw it, but I can honestly tell you, aside from the hype, this is my favorite Spider-Man movie to date. Rivaled by Tobey's Spider-Man 2. This is a great Spider-Man. And it deserves to be seen on the big screen, so go see it. If you haven't yet, go see it. Don't rob yourself of a good time. Especially if you're a Marvel fan and or a Spider-Man fan. Go see Spider-Man Brand New Day. I don't care if you gotta go alone. Go see it. Ain't nothing wrong going to the movie by yourself. Go see it. Don't wait. Go see it. Now, finally, this is a long episode. I don't care. I came to talk to my spoiler fam, for real. Every time I do an episode of this show, to be honest with you, it's just a part of the nature of, the podcast to do the Plain Cracker review. But I'm really here to talk to my spoiler fam. That's where the real fun is. That's really who I came to converse with. The spoiler fam. This is what I've been waiting for. To really get into the meat and the potatoes of every review. So without further ado, if you have not seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, click off, pause this episode, get to your nearest theater as soon as possible, go watch this movie and stick around to the end, the very, very, very end of the credits, because there is a end credit scene, not a mid credit scene. It is at the very end of the credits, and it's something. It's something you can put it up to your interpretation. It's one of those. But Spider-Man will return. Okay? So stay for that. If you're still here, I've given you warning. I'm giving it to you now. Because I'm about to talk some spoil stuff. My seat is ready at the table. I'm about to sit down and put the napkin in my lap. And I'm going to dine on these spoilers with my spoiler fam at the feast. All right. You still here? I guess we're all family. Spoiler fam. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I don't care what Yelena says. And I like Yelena. Spider-Man is a big potato guy, okay? She has no idea what he's been through, okay? This man has brought you, well, I mean, he got blipped too, but he was there, okay? He was there doing all the big potato things. You did have to deal with Sentry. But what he had to deal with, those are some big potato things, okay? Don't disrespect the guy. So it was cool to see her in this movie. And her office is in the sauna. And then she makes him get in the sauna because I get to make sure that you don't have any weapons and you get to enjoy a nice, relaxing, sauna bath. Fine. But that's really her office, though? Like, not the new Avengers Tower. That's really where you stay. And for how long? Like, that doesn't seem like the most, productive place to be for an Avenger. To be your office. I think you should be at Avengers headquarters. But anyway. Let's just go right to this. Jean Grey. Oh, I didn't say this in the... we could just talk about this suit forever. You can see his eyes. You can see his eyes through the mask in this movie. And I saw them so much more on the second viewing. I saw them in the first, but I saw them so much more in the second viewing. You can see Tom Holland's eyes behind the mask. Because it's practical. Practical. It just gives... Even though the eyes move, the goggles move, they still move like they did in the previous movies. But being able to see Tom Holland's eyes express through the goggles just adds so much more expression to the expression that the eyes can already do. It just does so much. Now, okay, I don't think I have anything else to say about the suit. It's just a perfect suit, okay? Now, Jean Grey. Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. I knew it. I called it. I was so hyped in the theater when I saw it in the text when they found out who she was, and it said Jean Elaine Grey. No, I'm sorry, Elaine. Jean Elaine Grey. And I was like, I knew that was her. I knew that was Jean Grey. I knew it. I said that in the theater. I turned to my girlfriend and I said that. I knew it. I knew it was Jean Grey. I knew it. It was her. It's Jean. I was right. Many of you were right. We were right. It's Jean Grey. Now, Jean Grey in this movie. She's looking for her sister. She's the dude. That dude. Now him, I over guessed with him. Damage control guy. Yeah, I was like, is that Mr. Negative? Then I thought, no, he's black. That's not Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative, Asian man. That's not Mr. Negative. But I thought it was at first. I did. Because the hand was in there. And I was like, the hand? Is that Mr. Negative? But I was like, no, that's not Mr. Negative. I had to think about that one for a second. But Mr. Damage Control guy took Jean Grey's sister. And he killed her. The last thing she saw, when she saw that vent, when Jean Grey was in that room and she saw that vent, and it said VMAX, I was like, Yeah, she gone. But honestly, I knew she was dead. I knew her sister was dead when um when they showed the flashback of when they took her. I was like, oh yeah, you ain't gonna see her again. And then when they put her in that room strapped to the chair, I was like, oh yeah, she been dead. She been dead. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at like, oh, you did all that just to find out that, oh, honey, she gone. I'm sorry. She gone. That's really sick. They tested her to the point where they killed her and the last thing she saw was an air vent? Yeah, she just she lost control after that. She let everything go. She took hold of a whole section of the city. She didn't even know. She probably didn't even know she was that powerful. Uh, yeah, yeah. Where to go now? As far as mutants go for the future, Peter is diabolical because y'all know what he has done. When it comes to mutants, a big part of the mutant, story is those inhibitor collars. Peter is responsible for making the technology for the inhibitors. He modeled his inhibitor after Doc Ock from Tobey Spider-Man. He modeled his inhibitor after his, and that's very apparent. But he made the one for him unique to him, and he made a universal one. So it can work on anyone with any power. And he put it on Jean Grey. And he handed Jean Grey over to Damage Control. So now Damage Control has seen this technology. And they had it hooked up to their, their stuff, their systems or whatever. So even though Jean Grey did destroy the inhibitor that was put on her, I'm pretty sure that they, did at least a scan of that inhibitor, and they know how it works and probably how to remake it and to upgrade it and whatever. And we're going to see that technology again because we should be going heavy into the mutants in the future of the MCU. Like, the mutants should be the next saga. Like, these past movies, everything is led up to an Avenger thing. Like, we're still going into an Avenger thing. But this next Avenger thing should take us into a full mutant saga. So then, to me, if you ask me, honestly, the next the next products that Marvel does, instead of leading up to the next Avenger movie, I think the X-Men should be the big thing for the MCU now. So everything should lead up to an X-Men movie, I'm not saying every movie should be an X-Men thing, because all of our heroes from the past, saga, solo film to solo film to an Avenger, and then they're in the Avengers. So I'm not saying every movie should be a certain X-Men character, solo X-Men character, and now a big X-Men movie. No, I'm just saying everything should lead up to an X-Men related movie, or at least maybe most. Does that make sense to y'all? I think y'all get it. That's just my personal thoughts, but definitely Peter is responsible for the technology that will be used against the mutants in the upcoming future of the MCU. What they should do, I should say. If they don't, they're out of their mind. And I'll be honest with you, if they mess up Doomsday, like, I had full anticipation for Brand New Day, and I just knew it was going to be a good movie. I did. And it was. But for Doomsday, if this movie doesn't do good, if this movie is not Not even if it doesn't do good. If it's not good, let's just keep it a buck. If it's not good, Marvel is going to lose me. They're going to. I'm not just going to stop, but all the things that they've been doing as of late, I'm losing it with them. I'm losing grip. I don't have the same, excitement about everything that they're doing. Before it was like, oh, they got a movie coming out. Let's go. It's going to be great. I don't have that anymore. Because Disney, it's your fault. And I will call you out on it. Because what are y'all doing? I know what you're doing. But why are you still doing it? Don't y'all like making money? Stop doing it. Stop this woke stuff. Let's just talk about it. Stop this woke stuff. Stop. We ain't come here for this. So if y'all mess up Doomsday, if Doomsday is not what we need it to be, and if Secret Wars is not what we need it to be, well, it's gonna be a sad day in Marvel in the Marvel fandom. But anyway, where was I at? Yeah, the X-Men. Peter's responsible for that technology. And I hope to see more about that in the upcoming future of the MCU. Let's see what else we can go here. Jean Grey. Let's keep talking about Jean Grey. Let's talk about what she did as the antagonist of this movie. When she hopped into MJ, on the secret tip, Peter thought he got the upper hand. And when he took her to that rooftop, and then she was like, I need to know. And then she kissed him, and he kissed her back. And it was a happy moment, and you can just see the relief on his face. And he's like, yes, it's been so long, and I've held out for so long, and I missed you and Ned so much. And it's not even her. It's Jean Grey in her mind controlling her. That was diabolical. Oh, goodness. You want to talk about evil? I know Jean Grey is a hero of the X-Men, but she ain't an X-Men yet. She is. That hurt. That hurt to watch. I was like, oh. And then she's gonna keep talking about it after? Yeah, there are no thoughts about you at all up here. At all. She doesn't think about you at all. To then later on go on to MJ finding the letter and reading it and then confronting Peter about it, like, take the mask off because I need to talk to Peter Parker about this. And for her to say, listen, I appreciate everything that you've done and I understand why you did it, but whatever it is that you did, it worked because I don't love you because I don't even know you. That is super hard. That is a super hard scene. Wow. It sucks to be a superhero. What else? Spoiler fan. There's so much. This is going to be a long episode, but I just gotta. There's so much in this movie. That's the thing. But what's important that we can talk about, though? As far as them remembering. Now, I've seen a couple things, and we're just going to talk about MJ and Ned. Because they're the only ones that we really need to remember. Or want to remember. They're the only ones that we want to remember that Peter Parker, or who he is. That they know him. That we want them to remember this. But it is a good thing that they don't remember. In this movie, at least. It is. If they would have just undone so quickly, And you can hear, talks about this online too, but it is true. If they would have just undone the events of No Way Home so quickly in this film, it takes the stakes off of what has been done. And so it takes the stakes off of this movie as well. So them still not remembering still leaves some development to be done for future films. And that's a good move. So it sucks for Peter, but it's good writing. Now, as far as them remembering, well, now MJ knows who Spider-Man is. And now she knows that she's supposed to know who Peter Parker is, but she just doesn't. But now she knows that Peter Parker exists, and in fact, he is Spider-Man. And in the moment where he has to quickly leave because he learns that Damage Control has been lying to him, and she calls him, "Hey, Peter, be careful." And Ned is literally right next to her, and he's like, "Spider-Man's name is Peter?" So let's hold on to that. At the end, Peter sees Ned in the little shop, and he does the handshake, and Ned still remembers the handshake. This could just be muscle memory, but here are the two thoughts, y'all. The one thought is, when Jean Grey was holding, the city hostage with her powers, MJ is crying and Ned is shaking on the ground. Why is MJ crying? People are saying, well, the same way that, when she was trying to control the Hulk, or Bruce Banner as Smart Hulk, but then she messed something up in his head that brought Rage Hulk out. So maybe whatever she did when she was holding the city hostage messed something up in MJ and Ned's head, and they're slowly starting to remember more and more. So at the end, when Ned does the handshake and he looks at Peter, and Peter's like, "Yeah, my name is Peter," possibly does Ned kind of remember who Peter is? That's what I thought at first. But if you think about it more, probably not. What it probably most likely is, he remembers that MJ called Spider-Man Peter, and now this man comes up. He remembers him from the party, and he does this handshake, and he says, "Yeah, my name's Peter." He goes, "Peter. Oh, snap. Spider-Man's name is Peter. You're Peter. You were at the apartment. You're Spider-Man. Peter." It's most likely that. He probably still has no clue who Peter Parker is. He probably doesn't even know what that handshake really means. But at least he knows who Spider-Man is now. It's Peter. So, they still have their chemistry as we saw when they were building the Star Wars Lego set. They still have their chemistry. They're still them. Ned just doesn't know who he is. But their friendship is still intact, and there's still so much room for them to regrow their friendship again. They're just going to fit right in, just like those Lego pieces. They're just going to fit together because they just do. I loved that scene. MJ was like, "Yeah, you two really do just look like best friends," because they still are. And even at the end, she goes back to the rooftop where they used to go. So she's still longing for something. There's something about Peter she's still longing for. She's just got to break through this spell. They both do. I think it's going to happen. I don't know what film, but it's going to happen. Let's see. Now, the Hulk in this movie, it's about time. We should have been. I won't go into my rant about the Hulk from She-Hulk because that should just be its own episode. What they've been doing with the Hulk in general should just be its own episode. But we short and sweet, we got the Hulk back, the Incredible Hulk back. The way he was swinging Spider-Man around, no pun intended, he kept grabbing this man by the neck and just swinging him around. Spider-Man better be glad that he's an enhanced human being because he should be dead. He was swinging him and throwing him on the floor the way that he did Loki in the first Avengers movie. Yeah, Spider-Man should be dead. And honestly, Hulk was about to kill him. And so Peter was like, no, I'm your friend, dude. It's me, Peter, I'm your friend. And then Hulk gets a glimpse of himself, and we know Hulk is really he's just an angry guy, but he's not a bad guy. He's just, you need to chill out, but you're not a bad guy. But what can I say about it? Yeah, whatever Jean Grey did to him in Hulk's mind, whatever she broke in his mind to make Rageful Hulk come back, I think there's some stuff to that. I think there is. Just trying to make sure I cover all my grounds here. This is a really long episode. I appreciate you guys. If you're watching this, wherever you're at, I don't know, just appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. The excitement of a Spider-Man film, the excitement of a movie, and especially to be my spoiler fan, because this is where the fun is at. What else can I say about Brand New Day for a spoiler? What else is relevant for spoiling? But there was something I was thinking. Something. It's not the end. I've talked about the end. The friendship. The forgetting. We got the Hulk. We got Jean Grey. Peter's powers. Okay. I don't think they say it in this movie, but they kind of said it in the trailers. They kind of faked us out probably. But his powers kind of mutate. Or at least they increase in the arachnid hormone in his body. Because he's been neglecting Peter Parker so much and just being Spider-Man. So, as a result of that, he gets heightened senses and organic webs, and he becomes stronger. He also has a rage mode. His eyes turn black, completely black, and he just lashes out. It's very symbiote-esque, but it's not the symbiote. I saw something online. It was on TikTok before I went to go see for the first time. And the caption was, seeing Spider-Man get the symbiote in Brand New Day. And I was like, why would y'all put this as the first video as soon as I opened TikTok? But it wasn't true, as we know. But him having this little rage mode is very symbiote-esque. But his powers. The main thing about his powers for him is, in this movie, he's not used to the new... I'll say he's not used to the new spider sense, because before, his spider sense helped him recognize that whoever it was, before he learned it was Jean Grey, helped him recognize that Jean Grey was hopping from person to person and which person that she hopped to. Now, when his powers start to, further developed, he's unable to do that because he's not used to the heightened sense. So I think he's just not used to the new, heightened spider sense, so it's not working for him anymore. For at least the majority of the movie. Well, actually, all of it. They don't swap back and say, okay, because remember when he, fully accepts, his both sides of him, that's when he learns to control his heightened powers, right? And, his webs are so much stronger. They can break swords. They can break metal. But there's a difference between his organic webbing and Tobey's organic webbing, because in Tobey's movie, it works like a reflex. When he does the, Spider-Man web sling hand, Tobey, I'm talking about, when he does the reflex, that's when the web comes out. And it comes out as controlled as he wants it to be. Now, for Tom, well, there's multiple occasions where he doesn't do the flex, especially when he first comes out the web cocoon and he does, the reflex. He does the flex with the Spider-Man hands, and he realizes, oh, I don't have my web shooters on. And then he's falling. But realize he did the motion, and no webs came out anyway. So there's a difference there, because when he's falling, he just raises his hand and webs come out. So he's not in control yet of that. So his organic webs are less of a muscle reflex and more of a control of power. Or powers, a control of ability. Like, he doesn't know how to... you ever had the thought, like, human beings, we don't have tails, so we don't know what it would feel like to have a tail to control it. We look at animals like, how do they control it? It's a part of their body. They just know how to control it because they've had it all their lives. But if we suddenly just grew a tail, we probably have no idea how to work that. It's kind of the same thing here. Like, Peter doesn't know how to use his organic webs because it's not, from what it seems, it's not about the flex of it. It's more of the control of it. And he doesn't know how to control it yet. And then when he goes, and we have this little throwback scene to when Toby first uses his organic webs, and go web, fly, up and away web, and it's just, he has to figure out what flexing motion he has to do. We get something like that in this movie for Tom, and it's just not working for him. When he finally does get the webs to come out, it doesn't come out as a controlled web line. It comes out like silly string, and it's just uncontrollable. Like, he cannot control it. It does not work the same way that Toby's does, and it doesn't work like his web shooters do. It's uncontrollable to him. It just comes out, like I said, like silly string. And then he finally, gets it to stop. The only way he figures out how to start getting it to work is he has to verbally say web go and web stop. Or he just says web, not web go, but web stop, web stop. It's like he has to learn this all over again. I thought that was interesting. And yes, towards the end, when he finally accepts both sides of him, I'll say, like, when he realizes, like, you know what? Yeah. I'm Spider-Man and I'm Peter Parker. I don't have to be alone anymore. The life that I lived, I do kind of have to, let it go and just keep going, but I don't have to be alone. When he accepts that, then he gets a control of the new power set that he has. Now, in that scene, I didn't think about it the first viewing, but then I heard someone say something about it online, a trusted source of mine, another movie reviewer, and he goes, I'll say who it was. It was Tyrone Magnus. I don't have to keep that discreet. It was Tyrone Magnus. And he said, Spider-Man is already that fast. It's like they kind of dimmed him down a little bit in this movie for that scene. So when that scene happens, it's kind of like look at what he can do. But realize he's been dodging bullets this entire movie anyway. And right before that scene, he had to fight those, damage control officers outside, and they were shooting at him. And he still had the inhibitor chip on, so he's still using his baseline powers, and he's still dodging bullets. Anyway, so when he's fighting the Hand and they're throwing shurikens at him, and he's dodging, and he doesn't have the inhibitor anymore, and he's dodging them, but Spider-Man is already that fast. So, whatever. But where his new power set does really shine is the webs. They also, Damage Control had a weapon to evaporate Spider-Man's webs from his web shooters. But they are powerless against his organic webs. They are so strong. Like I said, they broke the sword of one of the hand members. He can spread them out as far as and as much as he wants to. The way he was moving using his new webs when he finally figured out how to do it. Yeah, those webs are a force to be reckoned with. That's where, and well, they didn't really show the heightened sense either, but they really put an emphasis. They put an emphasis on how strong the webs are. Really, all they do is pretty much say verbally that he's stronger and he has more heightened senses now. And they do show him kind of having a problem with his sensory, like in the middle of the movie, like, or is that maybe somewhere still toward the beginning when he first starts going through this change. But his sensory is kind of like overwhelming to him. They do show that. But yeah, other than that, they put a real emphasis on how strong his new webs are. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I had a really good time with this movie. I won't say that I'll go see it again. I could. If I have to go take somebody who hasn't seen it, like if somebody's like, yeah man, I want to go see it, but I just haven't seen it yet, then I might be like, hey, you want to go right now? I might do that. But on my own, I think I will wait until it comes out on Blu-ray and I will get my copy. But if I can be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man fan to somebody, I might have to. But I think that is all I have to say about Spider-Man Brand New Day. I loved this movie. This is definitely in competition for Best Movie of the Year. I will be doing an episode like that every year on this show. I plan to. What was the best movie of the year so far in the running is Spider-Man Brand New Day and Obsession. But we still have some more movies to see. Okay, Dune Part 3 comes out later this year, and Avengers Doomsday. So, and then maybe a couple other movies that I've seen this year. Maybe. But yeah, definitely Spider-Man Brand New Day is one of the best things in theater that has come out this year. Do yourself a favor. Well, we're spoiler fam at this point, so I know you all have seen it. But do someone else a favor. If they haven't seen it, like I said, be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man fan and go take them. Tell them that they need to go see this movie. They will not regret it. But anyway, this episode has gone on long enough. Thank you guys for listening so much. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed the movie, and I hope you enjoyed my rant about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Until next time, I'll see you. Follow me. Follow me. Go to my Instagram, Jordan_E.B, and my Linktree will just have everything that has to do with me. Again, Instagram, Linktree, Jordan_E.B, Linktree, everything that has to do with me is right there. Okay, now, thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.